right, let's talk some more time management. Hey there, Enterprisers. What's good? It's Jason Lago here again. And in this video, I want to talk to you more about time management. Specifically, I want to talk to you about the 4 Ds to time management. The 4 Ds to time management. That's right. And what that is basically is, as you imagine, they're basically 4 words that start with the letter D that really make up a good approach as to how you can manage your time, because we know that the time management is the one skill that can really make or break you in your business, but also in your life. Now, I stumbled across these 4 Ds on an article online, and I'll go ahead and include a link to it in the description below if you want to check it out. But I thought, what a rather ingenious way to think about these things. And I 100% agree with what these things say. I've modified it a little bit to match my business and my ideals and kind of my approach to it. I want to share that with you now. But if you look at it, you're going to find that this is a great way, again, for you to manage your time, simply because time management, again, is that thing that could really make or break you. So often as entrepreneurs and just life in general, right? As a parent, as a teacher, as a brother, sister, as a person who's just working and trying to make things happen, it's really amazing to see how many things could really be thrown at you from all different directions. And if you don't know how to manage your time, then the most important things don't get done. And if the most important things don't get done, arguably nothing gets done, and you won't be productive. And worse yet, you won't be profitable, okay? So let's go ahead and dive right into the 4 Ds to time management. Here we go. Number 1 is do. Okay, do. Just simply do, all right? It is what it is. It's exactly what it sounds like. These are the things that you do. Of all the things that come onto your plate and get thrown at you, these are the things that you actually do. Now, what I'm going to recommend is that you prioritize these things that you do by way of their level of importance in your business, all right? The other thing that you can do is consider the things that are easy to do and go ahead and knock those out as well, all right? I've kind of talked about this technique before, where if you're taking care of things that, let's say, maybe they take 2 to 3 minutes or less, go ahead and just bang it out. And then at the end of the day, you'll be surprised with the amazing stack of things that you've been able to complete and clear off your list, okay? But before you even dive into that, again, what I think that you should do most importantly are the things that move the needle, okay? So these are the things that are high level, that matter the most, okay? Communicating with your audience and building trust. Also creating and publishing things that will bring forth money, like marketing, okay? Especially direct response marketing, all right? Things that have to do with direct sales. These are the activities that you want to spend your time on. So go ahead and do these things. Number 1 is do. Number 2 is defer, okay, is defer, or another word is delay, okay? I think I like that word better, but when it comes to deferring or delaying, it's exactly what it sounds like as well. These are things that bear importance. These are things that have consequence, but maybe they're not immediate, okay? Or maybe they're also not as important. So for instance, closing the sale today is important, but what this would fall under would be something like maybe following up within 2 business days, right? So maybe if you have an item that doesn't require immediate support or immediate response, you can add this to the defer or delay category. Okay, another example of this might be following up on an email, okay? Now, instinctively, if you're like me, I'm one of those people where as soon as an email comes in, I want to respond and I want to clear it out, because I cannot stand seeing a bunch of unread email or untended to email, right? But the reality is not every one of those things demands an immediate response, and none of those things oftentimes do not require immediate attention. So why not defer it or delay it a little bit, push it out a day, push it out a business day or 2, and get back to it then. Obviously, when you do get back to it, you want to make sure that you're doing so with 100% energy and integrity, and you're going after it with the kind of attention it deserves. But if it doesn't need to be answered right now, then deal with it later. Defer or delay. Number 3, delegate. Delegate, okay? Now this is absolutely important, because as a business owner and as your business grows and as just someone who becomes more successful, delegation is one of the keys to doing those things, okay? If you want to get big, you have to scale. And you really can't scale unless you're offloading certain tasks to certain teams or certain people. And delegation is one of those things. You've often heard me say in the past that I believe in what's called the MAD model. In any business, it comes down to the MAD model when you want to go ahead and succeed and scale, right? And the MAD model stands for simply marketing, automation, and delegation. I didn't come up with that. I kind of learned it across the way, but it makes absolute sense. So you have to get to a place where you are delegating. There are things that other people can do that you don't have to do, right? There are things that can be done that need to get done, but you do not need a person that drives it. You don't need to be that person at all. And I would argue that as a good leader, you better not be the person who does it at all, okay? The person who has to wear every hat, the person who has to do it all, that's only sustainable for so long. And the person who has to do that is not the person who's gonna build the massive business, at least not efficiently, okay? There's only 24 hours in a day. There's only so many things that you can do. So learning how to delegate certain tasks to people that you have trained and trust, this is gonna be one of those keys to your absolute success. Delegate. Number 4, and finally, delete, okay, or drop. I kind of like the word drop better, okay? Instead of delete, just drop it. All right, there are some things that, you know what, you really don't need to do at all. There are things that don't need to get done. There are things that need to be delayed, all right, but there are things that just don't need to be done at all, okay? And I think you know where I'm going with this, okay? But a lot of the times, the reason why people struggle with time management is because they're not spending their time the most efficiently or productively at all, okay? So for instance, if you're allowing a bunch of Netflix or a bunch of mindless web surfing or cartoons or video games or something, do you really need to do all those things? I can appreciate needing to take a break. I can appreciate taking a rest. I can appreciate all of those things. But do those things and the examples of those things that I just mentioned, do they really do anything for you? Do you really need to do those things? Perhaps you should drop 1 or 2 or a few of those things. I know I'm stepping on some toes and I don't want to meddle too much, but I challenge you to consider this, okay? Me personally, I'm a dad and I got kids who play video games, my boys, my sons. I love to play video games with them every once in a while, but I'll be honest with you, I don't need to do it, right? And I effectively have dropped it for myself. I do not play video games anymore. Nothing against it. I know plenty of people my age who are doing it, but the only times now that I play video games literally are a game or 2 with my children every once in a while, and usually every once in a while happens after I cash a pretty big check. You know what I mean? It's just not one of those things that I have to do, and I certainly can see myself wasting a lot of time doing that and things like that if I'm not careful. So I challenge you to take a look and see what are the things in your life that are taking away from your productivity, that are taking away from your time. It's not a time management issue sometimes, it's a prioritization issue. And the way that you're spending your time is by way of things that should not be prioritized. Case in point, mindless social media, mindless movies, gossip, politics, video games, and on we can go. Again, I'm just making a few suggestions here. You determine what it is that is holding you back and holding you down, and I recommend that you just drop it. There you have it, my friends. Listen, those are 4 very quick and easy, dirty ways to manage your time. And I believe that these 4 approaches will help you in doing just that. Again, I did include a link in the description that shows you the article that I got this online if you want to check it out. But it's a really good read. On top of that, if you hadn't had a chance yet, make sure you download a copy of my Digital Freedom Shortcut. That also is in the link in the description box. And that's the exact same method and blueprint that I used to leave the corporate lifestyle to doing everything that I'm doing now. And I couldn't be enjoying more life in order to share it with you. I'm excited to do that. Now make sure you give me a like, a comment, but you know the deal. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. That's the most important thing. That way you don't miss out on any more hot new content that I got coming down the pipe just for you. All right, that's it, my friends. Jason Ligo. I'll talk to you later. Take care.